Welcome back to the news at 10, and just in time for sports news, here's Ayotunde Balogun.
Yes, indeed. We start now in the UEFA Champions League, where Liverpool beat AS Roma 5-2 at Anfield in the semi-final first leg. Mo Salah, the Egyptian, was once again the star of the show against his former side, scoring 2 and providing 2 more assists for Sadio Mane and Roberto Firmino's opener, with the Brazilian adding another from a James Milner corner. The goals from Edin Dzeko and Diego Perotti gave Roma a lifeline ahead of next week's second leg at the Stadio Olimpico in Rome. A Super Eagles technical advisor, Gennett Rohr, says his team isn't fully ready for the FIFA World Cup, barely 51 days to the world's biggest football showpiece. According to Rohr, putting together a team for the World Cup requires long-term planning. He says he's optimistic that the experiences from the friendly games will, however, keep his team competitive. Well, the Brazilian Football Confederation has appointed Rogério Caboclo as the organization's president following an uncontested election. Caboclo will now lead the CBF from 2019 to 2023 and will replace Marco Polo Del Nero, who is currently suspended by FIFA. David Goffin has saved a match point to defeat Marcel Granollers of Spain 4-6, 7-6, 6-2 in the second round of the Barcelona Open. Goffin was down 5-1 in the second set before recovering to reach the third round for the second consecutive year in Barcelona. And Team Sky have named Britain's Chris Froome in their team for the Giro d'Italia starting next month, despite the ongoing investigation into his adverse doping tests. Froome is fighting to clear his name after an increased dosage of asthma medication at the Tour of Spain last year threw up an adverse analytical finding from a urine sample. Now, the 4-time Tour de France winner has denied any wrongdoing and is free to race because he is not suspended. And that's a wrap in sports news. The news at 10 continues in a minute.
Nigeria's High Commissioner to South Africa has reacted to allegations of inadequate handling of issues affecting Nigerians in the country. The allegations were made by the president of the Nigerian Union, South Africa, Adetola Olubajo, on our program, Network Africa, yesterday. Speaking with our South Africa Bureau Chief in the presence of the Consul General, Godwin Adama, and other top officials of both missions, Ambassador Ahmed Ibeto says he is disappointed by some of Mr. Olubajo's statements, given the fact that the missions work together to handle every issue that arises.
We got a report through our minister in charge of consular affairs that one of our nationals was actually killed. In fact, he was attacked by a group of South Africans. He fought for protection from the police, and unfortunately, that was not provided. So he decided to run away. So actually, they followed him and then beat him. Then from there, after he fell down, they put him on fire. They put fire on him. And he was rescued by Good Samaritans. They took him to the hospital, and overnight he passed away.
U.S. President Donald Trump says there will be big problems if Iran resumes its nuclear program after having agreed to curb it in a 2015 international accord. Trump has been threatening to reject an extension of the Obama-era nuclear pact by May 12 deadline. Iran's Foreign Minister Javad Zarif says Iran would most likely abandon the nuclear accord if the U.S. pulls out, threatening severe consequences if it does. French President Emmanuel Macron, who is on a state visit to the U.S., said he had had frank discussion with Mr. Trump and he believed it was possible to forge a new agreement on the Iran issue. And the main news again. The senator representing Kogi West, Dino Melaye, was today hospitalized after jumping out of a police van while being conveyed to Lokoja for trial. Senator Melaye had earlier surrendered to the police in Abuja, who interrogated him over his alleged involvement in the supply of arms to some political thugs. Also today, lawmakers in the House of Representatives described the purchase of $496 million military aircraft by the executive without legislative approval as unconstitutional and impeachable. U.S. President Donald Trump today threatened big problems for Iran if it resumes its nuclear program after a 2015 international agreement. That's the news at 10 tonight. Thanks for watching. I am Amarachi Ubani.